We face numerous challenges. I think early on, it's how do I get over the age and win our first customers? And that's kind of hide behind the screen and the phone. No, I'm kidding. It's just get out there and push through with value. I think, and we face challenges like all throughout. We were stuck in the SVB crisis, and I don't have a business where you can be flexible on payments and cash flow. Meaning, I have thousands of people in fulfillment centers that every paycheck matters, and so when you on a Friday found out we have no more money, at least for now, because this bank is shut down, how am I going to pay people on Monday? Crisis, and thankfully, it's where we have incredibly supportive investors that helped us through that and great policies since on diversification. And I think finally, the real challenge is the turnaround. When we go from 2021 to today, I'll be the first to say we were very much one of those potentially risky businesses where you could, where the question of will you make it to the other side of the unit economic hurdle and the kind of valuation live into hurdle was a real question. We had gone through this period of 2015 to 2020. We had raised $20 million. And then by the end of 2021, we had now raised $300 million. And so we had a boatload of capital, but also a boatload of pressure on living into that, keeping our growth rate, and so on. And that was in a timeline where it was growth at all costs. And I'll still remember an investor saying, I don't think in your next round, a single person will care about your margin or your bottom line. It's only keep growing. And I had to convince that investor hard, like that is the case today. But what we're starting to see and we're starting to hear, and thankfully we had some great public oriented investors who were kind of right on the front of the curve, talking about interest rates, talking about what was happening in the public markets and saying like alarm bells to the portfolio. This party is going to stop. We had some hard board meetings at the start of 2022 where we said plans changed, not just board meetings, actually, kind of all investor calls. Plans changed. Here's where we think we were going, and here's what's happening now where we need to go here instead. And that might be a slightly less focus on top line, a slightly more focus on durable growth, durable margin, durable bottom line. But over that timeline from 2021 to 2024, we grew our revenue to 2025 today, we grew our revenue over 10x. We went from massive burn to profitable. We expanded our margins from break even to industry leading, and we won investor trust. And that's really how we got to this round. But when you're kind of making this turnaround, and that's why we have these exciting and celebratory board meetings now, when you're making this turnaround, you don't turn in harsh waters without a lot of resistance. Every day is resistance. Every day you're making a hard decision. You're killing a business unit you hired. You're firing an employee you hired. You're raising a price on a customer who you just want to be friends with. You're whatever it may be. You're making hard decisions. I think the hardest thing is just the grit and the tenacity of wanting to see it through to the other side when each day is some pain. And I have so many founder friends who kind of use that 2022 period to say, let's hire a professional CEO. And I actually went across our investors and said, do you think that's what we should do? I'm not saying that's what I want. Like, I just would rather you have the conversation with me rather than show up to a board meeting and it surprise me. And some of our investors freaked out and were like, that's not what we want. Are you trying to quit? Like, what's going on? And I'm, no, that's not my point. It's, I want to ensure alignment, and here's where I'm planning on taking us, and here's the playbook, and here's my plan. And are you aligned? And so I think that is the thing I'm most proud of is a very hard, well, we got to change everything we thought, make it through some really, really hard periods. And we just have a thesis that these 2 to 10 strategic moves will pay off. And can we be long-term focused enough to actually see them through to the payoff?